Burger King serves over 11 million customers every single day across the globe. That's a lot of flame-grilled goodness. But have you ever wondered what really goes into making those iconic burgers? From the factory to your plate, let's find out what's behind the bun and if it's really worth the bite. Before we jump into the modern production process, let's take a quick trip back in time to see how Burger King became, well, the king. Founded in 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida, Burger King started with the name Insta-Burger King, thanks to a special piece of equipment called the Insta-Broiler, which could cook multiple burgers quickly. However, financial issues led the original owners to sell the company just a year later to two franchisees, James McLemore and David Edgerton. These two visionaries rebranded it as the Burger King we know today, refining the menu and introducing the now famous flame grilling method that still defines the brand. In 1957, they introduced the iconic Whopper, a burger so massive for its time that it quickly became their flagship product. Since then, the company has expanded to more than 18,000 locations worldwide, standing tall as the second largest fast food burger chain after McDonald's. Over the decades, Burger King has continued to innovate in its marketing and menu offerings, but its flame-grilled burgers have always remained at the heart of the brand's identity. And now, with that little history lesson in mind, let's get back to what's really cooking behind the scenes. Let's start with the heart of any Burger King hamburger, the beef patty. In theory, you might picture cows roaming freely on pastures, but in reality, Burger King's beef is largely sourced from industrial-scale farms. These farms aren't necessarily the picture of idyllic ranches. Think larger operations, where maximizing beef production is the goal. Most of the cattle used for Burger King hamburgers are grain-fed, which is standard practice for fast food beef. Grain feeding helps beef cattle reach the right weight more quickly and consistently. Plus, grain-fed cattle tend to have a higher fat content, leading to that juicy bite everyone expects in their burger. It's a far cry from the leaner, grass-fed beef that's popular among health-conscious consumers. But hey, that fat content is what makes the patty flavorful. But what about additives? Well, here's where the line between 100% beef and food processing comes into play. Yes, Burger King's beef is technically 100% beef, but that doesn't mean it's untouched by modern food science. To maintain consistency across thousands of restaurants, the patties sometimes include binders or fillers like soy protein or textured vegetable protein, TVP. These additives help the beef hold its shape and juiciness throughout the cooking and freezing process. They're also handy in reducing the total amount of beef used, making the patties more cost-effective. So, while the patty may still technically be 100% beef, it's enhanced by these modern ingredients to ensure you get the same experience no matter which Burger King location you visit. It's all about balancing flavor, cost, and consistency. That's the magic of fast food. Once the beef is sourced, it moves to the meat processing plants, where large-scale production kicks in. These plants process the beef into cuts, separating lean and fatty parts to create the optimal mix for the perfect burger patty. The typical Burger King patty maintains a fat-to-meat ratio of about 80-20, which is standard for juicy burgers. The combination of fat and lean beef creates that melt-in-your-mouth experience with every bite. The beef is ground and mixed into a homogeneous blend, after which it is shaped into those familiar circular patties. The equipment used in these plants can produce tens of thousands of patties a day. Think of it as a giant conveyor belt of burger goodness. The beef mixture is fed into machines that press it into uniform patties, ensuring each one is the exact same size, shape, and weight. When you're serving millions of customers, consistency is key, and this level of precision means every bite of your Whopper is as predictable as the last. But here's where fast food science really shines. These patties aren't just made and tossed onto a grill. After being shaped, they're flash frozen using specialized freezing technology. Flash freezing is essential in mass production, It locks in the flavor and moisture while ensuring that the patties can be stored for long periods without spoiling. By freezing the patties immediately, Burger King ensures that the beef stays fresh and flavorful when it finally reaches the grill at your local restaurant. However, freezing meat does come with a few downsides. The texture of fresh meat is undeniably different from that of frozen meat. A fresh beef patty might offer a juicier bite, but when it comes to fast food, consistency trumps everything else. The flash freezing process ensures that every patty tastes as close to fresh as possible once cooked, and for most of us, the difference is subtle enough to go unnoticed. Here's where Burger King sets itself apart from many other fast food chains: the flame grilling process. While others cook their patties on a flat-top griddle, Burger King opts for an open flame, which gives the burger that signature char-grilled flavor. This isn't just a gimmick, it's a core part of Burger King's identity. After all, there's a reason they market their burgers as flame-grilled, and it's not just for show. At the restaurant, the flame grilling happens on a conveyor belt system. The patties roll through an open flame, allowing the fat to drip off and create a smoky, charred taste. This method gives the burgers a slightly different flavor compared to other fast food joints that rely on frying or grilling. But here's a little secret: those grill marks you see on the patties, some of them are added in the factory. Yep, they're pre-marked to ensure that each burger looks perfectly grilled, even if it didn't spend as much time over the flame as you'd think. But why this method? Flame grilling is actually more efficient for large-scale operations. It's a way to cook a lot of patties quickly while still achieving that distinct flavor profile. Plus, the excess fat drips away, making the burger slightly less greasy than one cooked on a flat-top grill. Notice we said slightly. This is still fast food after all. Now, onto the unsung hero of the burger, the bun. We all know that a good burger bun needs to be soft yet sturdy enough to hold all those glorious toppings without collapsing. And at Burger King, the buns are as much a product of food science as they are a baking masterpiece. Let's take a peek into the bun factory to see how they're made. The process starts with the dough, which is made from wheat flour, water, yeast, and other typical bread ingredients. However, making buns on a fast food scale isn't as simple as kneading some dough and throwing it in the oven. Consistency is the key, so automated mixers and precision machines handle everything, ensuring that every batch of dough is identical. Once the dough is mixed, it undergoes an intensive kneading process. Machines mix and knead the dough to develop gluten, which gives the buns their elasticity and helps them rise properly. After the dough is sufficiently kneaded, it's left to rest and proof. This allows the yeast to ferment, producing gas bubbles that make the buns light and fluffy. Here's where things get a bit technical. Additives and dough conditioners like ammonium sulfate and enzymes are used to control the dough's rise and ensure a consistent texture. These chemicals might sound intimidating, but they're essential in large-scale baking to produce the same soft, springy bun every time. After proofing, the dough is portioned into individual bun-sized pieces by specialized machines. These portions are rolled into perfectly round shapes, again using machines that ensure every bun is uniform. The buns are then placed onto baking trays and sent through giant industrial ovens, where they're baked at precise temperatures to achieve that golden brown color. But that's not the end. After baking, the buns go through a quick cooling process to stop any residual baking. From there, they're sent through machines that apply the sesame seeds. Because what's a Whopper without those classic sesame seeds on top? Finally, the buns are flash frozen, similar to the beef patties, to preserve freshness during transport to Burger King locations across the world. The buns used at Burger King are made with preservatives like calcium propionate, which helps prevent mold and extends the shelf life. They also use dough conditioners like ammonium sulfate to ensure that the dough rises consistently, resulting in a uniform texture every time. These additives aren't harmful in the small amounts used, but they are a necessary part of mass-producing a bun that won't turn stale before it hits your mouth. Now, let's get saucy. A Burger King hamburger wouldn't be complete without the condiments, typically ketchup, mustard, and mayo. These might seem like simple additions, but as with everything else in the fast food world, there's more than meets the eye. Take mayonnaise, for example. The mayo used in Burger King's hamburgers often contains emulsifiers like lecithin and xanthan gum to maintain a smooth texture. These emulsifiers keep the oil and water in the mayo from separating, ensuring that it stays creamy and spreadable. Sure, you could make mayo with just eggs and oil at home, but when you're making it for millions of burgers, you need a little more food science to keep things consistent. Then there's ketchup and mustard, staples in the fast food world. Burger King's ketchup and mustard are made with the usual ingredients: tomatoes, vinegar, sugar, mustard seeds, but they're produced in huge quantities and have to be shelf-stable for long periods. This means preservatives like potassium sorbate are added to keep them fresh. Again, nothing shocking here, but it's a reminder that even the simplest condiments in fast food are products of careful engineering. Now, let's talk about the less glamorous side of fast food: additives and preservatives. These ingredients might not make it onto the billboard ads, but they're a crucial part of what makes fast food possible on such a large scale. One of the most common additives found in fast food burgers is monosodium glutamate, MSG, a flavor enhancer that gives food that savory, umami-packed punch. It's often criticized, but it's perfectly safe in the amounts used in food. MSG helps fast food chains, like Burger King, create a consistent flavor profile across all their restaurants, making sure that your burger tastes just as good in Chicago as it does in Paris. Then there's sodium nitrite, which is used in the processing of the beef to help preserve its color and freshness. Without it, the patties could look unappetizingly gray by the time they reach your local Burger King. While sodium nitrite is generally recognized as safe in small amounts, it has been linked to certain health concerns when consumed in large quantities. Luckily, the levels in fast food burgers are low enough that you'd have to eat a lot of burgers for it to become a problem, though we wouldn't recommend making it your daily diet. Lastly, preservatives like citric acid and sodium benzoate are commonly used in the sauces and buns to keep them fresh. These preservatives prevent the growth of mold and bacteria, ensuring that the food is safe to eat after it's been transported and stored. So, the next time you bite into a Burger King hamburger, remember that there's more to that simple sandwich than meets the eye. From the carefully sourced beef, the meticulous factory processes, and the flame-grilled finish to the science behind the sauces and buns, every element is designed to deliver the same taste and experience across thousands of locations worldwide. Now that you've got the inside scoop on Burger King's burgers, we've got to ask, do you prefer Burger King or McDonald's when it comes to fast food? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tasty breakdowns. See you next time.